Hi everybody, I'm Barry Miller for Fox 4 News, Fox 4 Facebook. I am so honored to have as a guest right now a 40-year veteran of the legendary Oak Ridge Boys who, come December 3rd, will be here in Fort Myers, Florida at the Barbara B. Mann Performing Arts Hall for their Christmas tour. And I'm joined none other by right now than Richard Sterban. Richard, it's great to have you here with us.
Barry, it's certainly a pleasure to be able to talk to you and your fine viewers and listeners out there. Thank you so much for having me. I certainly appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, Richard. And you guys are currently on your Christmas tour right now. I know we've got a nice Thanksgiving break, but you head out tomorrow night, I believe, for the continuation of your Christmas tour, which is making a stop here in Fort Myers on December 3rd.
You are absolutely correct. We have already done several Christmas shows. We have just a few days off to kind of spend Thanksgiving at home with our families, and we're going to leave tomorrow night to head back out on the road. And you're correct. We are coming to Fort Myers on December the 3rd with the Oak Ridge Boys Christmas show. And we're really excited about bringing our Christmas show to Southern Florida. It's a great show. It's really two shows in one. It's a real bargain. We come out at the beginning of the show and we do about 45 minutes of our regular music, including Elvira. Quite often people realize that we're bringing our Christmas show to town. The next question they ask, even though it's a Christmas show, are we still going to hear Elvira? Well, the answer to that is yes, you will hear Elvira, along with several other hits by the Oak Ridge Boys in the first 45 minutes of the show. Then we take an intermission. And after the intermission, we do a complete Christmas show.
That's great. That's great. And Richard, I think I was telling you earlier, I've seen you guys about 12, 13 times. This will be my first time seeing the Christmas show, and I can't tell you how excited I am about that because I've heard so much about it. And I have your new Christmas CD from Cracker Barrel, and that's got some great music on it.
Well, thank you. And this year, we've totally revamped the Christmas show, and we've incorporated all the new material from the new Christmas CD into the Christmas show. So it's a totally new Christmas show this year, and we cover a lot of aspects of Christmas. We sing romantic Christmas songs, we sing fun Christmas songs. We have a great Santa Claus and a great Santa segment. Santa this year actually makes an entrance onto the stage in a Peterbilt sleigh, and that's a lot of fun. It really is. And after some fun with Santa, we have a very cool segment where we bring 4 rocking chairs out on the stage, and the 4 Oak Ridge Boys sit in 4 rocking chairs in front of a fireplace, and we kind of talk about Christmas memories, and childhood memories, what inspired us all to want to sing Christmas music. And it's a great segment which gives the people in the audience a chance to get to know the 4 Oak Ridge Boys a little bit. So it's really a very, very cool segment. And then after the rocking chair segment, then we close out the show with songs that are very important to us, songs that talk about the true meaning of Christmas, and that, of course, being the birth of Jesus. So it's a total package, a great family show. Our hits in the beginning, just about every aspect of Christmas, the sacred part at the end, a show for all members of the family, and it's also kids-friendly. We encourage parents to bring your kids. It'd be a great show for the whole family to kind of come and spend some time with the Oak Ridge Boys around the Christmas season, sir.
That's great, Richard. We can't wait for it. We talked about Elvira earlier, as people are going to hear Elvira, and you, sir, have a new book out. Congratulations on that. It's called From Elvis to Elvira.
Well, yes, I do, and thank you for asking about that. Prior to joining the Oak Ridge Boys 40 years ago, as you already mentioned, I did sing with a group called J.D. Sumner and the Stamps Quartet, and I had the opportunity and privilege for about a year and a half to sing with the king of rock and roll, sing with Elvis. And so my book has some great Elvis stories in there. For years, people have asked me, what was it like working with Elvis? What kind of a person was Elvis? Tell me some Elvis stories. So I decided to write some of this down, along with a good friend of mine, Steve Robinson. And he did a great job helping me write the book. So there's great Elvis stories in there. And I spend quite a bit of time in the book talking about the major decision I made in my life to leave the king of rock and roll and to then join the Oak Ridge Boys go on to bigger and better things with the Oak Ridge Boys. So it's really kind of my story. And if you're a fan of Elvis, or if you're a fan of the Oak Ridge Boys, I think you'll find this book, very fascinating. In fact, I go way back to my childhood. And believe it or not, I talk about when my voice changed, which is kind of interesting.
That's great. Richard, what made you decide that now is the right time to write your memoirs?
Well, that's kind of an interesting question. I've been in the Oak Ridge Boys for 40 years, and for 40 years now, people have asked me, when they find out that I used to sing with Elvis, immediately they want to know something about Elvis. What was Elvis like? What kind of a person was he? And so, and I've been talking about it for close to 40 years. I just decided maybe I should write some of this down now. And so I decided to do just that. And it is now a reality. And the book, as you said, is called Elvis to Elvira, my life on stage. When you read the book, you'll find out that I'm a very blessed person. I've had a great career. I was able to sing with the king of rock and roll. I was able to be in the biggest tour in the music business back in those days. But then I made a decision to join the Oak Ridge Boys, and I went on to bigger and better things with the Oak Ridge Boys. So it is a great story, and I'm happy that it is out there. And if any of your viewers or listeners want to get the book, go to oakridgeboys.com. You can buy it that way, or go to my personal website, richardsterban.com. You can buy it that way. Or you can actually download the book, off of iTunes. It's downloadable now, and or you can go to barnesandnoble.com as well. So it is available, and or you can wait till we come to town. And the night we're in Fort Myers, you can buy it from the Oak Ridge Boys, along with our new Christmas CD, Christmas Time's a Coming.
I tell you what, a good plug there for both of those. Richard, I read the book, and there was, you said it, there were some great stories in there, and it was just fascinating me. I couldn't put it down. Now, when you were writing the book, did you ever stop to think, well, maybe this shouldn't be told, or will my partners object to this and what I'm putting in here?
Well, I thought, we actually, when I was working with my good friend Steve Robinson, and we were putting this book together, we did actually have a couple of different versions.
Okay.
And we decided to maybe we should clean up a couple of the stories just a little bit. I really didn't want it to be a tell-all kind of. I wanted it to be honest, but I didn't want to be a tell-all kind of book either. So I tried to treat everyone in the book pretty kindly, and I think I did.
No, you very well did. Back to Elvis. Now, do you think Elvis, had he not died when he did, that he would eventually retire, or do you think he would be still headlining Vegas today?
Knowing Elvis, like I think I knew him, I could not imagine him retiring. I think he would sing and still be singing today if he was still alive. I really do believe that. Very much like the Oak Ridge Boys. People ask us that same question. We've been doing this now for 40 years. Next year will be our 40th anniversary tour, which we're very excited about, by the way. And we have some great events planned for our 40th anniversary tour next year. But, I don't foresee us retiring anytime soon, because we still love doing what we do. We are still having fun doing it. And as long as that continues, and I think health is probably the key to the Oak Ridge Boys' future. As long as the good Lord above keeps blessing the four of us with good health, you're going to see us out there doing it, because it's really what we love doing. And I think the same thing would probably be said for Elvis as well.
That's great, Richard. And, you guys are so loyal, and you have a great fan base. And, you've got a cruise coming up. I'm kind of excited about that, because I think I am hopefully going to be a part of that when the cruise happens in late February. That's going to be fantastic.
Well, Barry, it'll be great to have you. And the Oak Ridge, we're calling it the Oak Ridge Boys Rally at Sea. And it's going to be a 4-day cruise, and it's going to depart on February the 28th out of Miami, and then return to Miami on the 4th of March. And we're going to go from Miami to Key West, from Key West to Cozumel. Then we're going to spend 1 day out at sea in the beautiful Caribbean, and it's going to be a great time. There's going to be concerts. I think we're even planning to maybe have a jam session around the pool one night. And we're going to do something very interesting on the cruise. We're going to have something called the Oak Ridge Boys University. And by that I mean 4 Oak Ridge boys individually are going to have a seminar where the 4 of us are going to talk about things that interest us personally. I personally am going to talk about my book and about the time I spent with Elvis. It's basically going to be, a seminar on Richard Sterban talking about Elvis and the things that interest me, including my passion for baseball and some of my other interests. Joe Bonzo, who is a very accomplished author, he has written several best-selling books, including a book in particular called G.I. Joe and Lily, which has been a bestseller for several years now. A story about his parents who were veterans, a very touching, heartwarming story. He is going to talk about writing and what it's like to write and his philosophies in life. So it's going to be a great time for Joe Bonzo fans. William Lee Golden has become a very accomplished artist in recent years, and he's going to talk about painting and his artwork and how he develops a painting on canvas. Generally, it starts with him taking his camera out on the road and taking a picture, and then taking the picture and making a canvas out of the picture. He's going to explain that whole process to Oak Ridge Boys fans. And then Wayne Allen is going to, he's our song guy. He's going to talk about what it's like to find hit songs, what it's like to produce records in the recording studio. He's co-produced several of our latest albums, so he's going to talk about producing records and just the business side of the music business in general. So it's going to be a great 4 days for fans to get to know the Oak Ridge Boys and just have a great time. And along with concerts and music and seminars, there's also going to be the beautiful Caribbean. We're going to have plenty of time to have a lot of fun as well. So it promises to be a great 4-day Oak Ridge Boys Rally at Sea. Just one of the great events during our 40th anniversary celebration next year.
That's great, Richard. You were talking about, singing, and you mentioned in the book, I'm kind of going all over the place with this, but you talk about in the book your lowest notes, when you're singing bass. I think you said on a couple gospel songs, like The First Step to Heaven, and I believe Working on a Building, you mentioned was one of your lowest notes that you hit. What have been some of your highest notes, if you can recall, on some songs?
I don't know that I can even answer that question for you. I don't know that I know the answer to that question because for the most part, I do not sing very high. As
sure.
When people buy a ticket to see the Oak Ridge Boys or to hear the Oak Ridge Boys, they expect to hear Richard Sterban sing low. So that's what I do. I have 3 partners that do just a wonderful, wonderful job of singing the high notes. And they have that area covered, so I don't have to worry about singing high. And I pretty much concentrate on singing the low tones.
And you sing very, very well, sir.
Well, thank
very,
you so
very
much,
well. And I've got to tell you, I have some coworkers around that when they heard I was interviewing you today, they're like, "You cannot let him get off Skype without giving me a little papa." And I have to tell you, Richard, we have karaoke night at the station every now and then. And they call me the king of karaoke, and I do Elvira. I do all the parts myself, even your part. So,
well, how about that? Well, even 31 years later, Elvira is still a big song in karaoke bars. People still love singing along with that song, especially men. They like to get up there and see if they can sing along with me.
Exactly. And with that, I want to give a little bar and then have you do the low part. Could I do that, you think, for a second?
Sure.
All right.
Sure, let's do it. Yeah, okay.
All right. Elvira.
Giddy up, boom, papa, mow, mow.
Giddy up.
Boom, papa, mow, mow. Hi,
oh, silver away. That was awesome, Richard.
Well, Barry, I think you sing very well. Also, if we ever need a replacement, we'll have to keep you in mind.
And I can actually hit some of the low notes, not very well, but I attempt to. I try to do my best. But you're the pro at that, my friend. You may have to teach me some licks when you come down to to Fort Myers.
Okay, well, thank you. We'll certainly plan on that. And once again, we're excited about bringing our Christmas tour. Christmas times are coming.
Yes.
To Fort Myers. It's going to be a great night. You're going to hear Elvira, our regular music, every aspect of Christmas. Just a great time for every member of the family. And as I said earlier, we encourage parents to bring their kids to the show. It'd be a great time for all.
Well, I want to tell you that my mom and dad brought me to your concert when I was just a little bitty boy. The first time I saw you guys was in 1987 in Huntsville, Alabama. I never forgot that as my first Oak Ridge Boys concert. They actually came when I was in my mother's room when you guys were in Fort Myers back in 1979. So that was actually when I got my first taste of your music, and I have been a lifelong fan ever since. And I can't thank you enough for being here with us tonight, and just thank you for everything from all the fans I speak from.
Well, thank you for having me, Barry, and giving me a chance to talk to your viewers out there and your fine listeners as well. And once again, we look forward to December the 3rd. I promise you it'll be a good time for everyone.
All right, Richard Sterban of the Oak Ridge Boys here on Fox 4.